Good morning, friends. Today we're going to learn a little bit about filling up master data in inclusive retail. As you'd have taken inclusive retail for your retail requirements, we will basically understand how to configure and set everything up. What we would learn today in this video is how to manage the store information, setting and updating the company information, getting the vendors or the suppliers created in the system, uploading items to the item master, updating the items in case you make any mistakes, creating value added services and creating job workers or tailors for these value added services, and finally, creating and managing users. Once you log into your inclusive retail, you have to go into configuration. As I said, the first configuration is the company master, which would be auto-filled when you give us your details for setup. In case you want to modify anything, you can search your company, click on modify, and update the PAN number, the address, or any other details that you feel are improperly updated. You can also update your bank details with the bank name, account number, ISFC code, and the branch name. This is what would get printed on your invoices, quotations, and all other documents. You also have a store-wise printing. So depending upon what version of inclusive retail you have subscribed to, you can also update the same information at a store level and which will get printed on your invoices. You can put in contact details for the people who are working for your organization, and you have a company-wise quotation terms and invoice declaration. So these are the terms and conditions which get printed on the quotations, the invoices, as well as the purchase order. So you can create your own terms and conditions and put a sequence to them. So always when you put a sequence, the first one would come on top and the last one would come at the bottom. So this is how you would update the company master. Similarly, on the store master, you can select the store that you want to select if you have more than one store. Or if you have one store, then you can just update the name of the store, the address, the details, the contact person, and you can put company-wise GST and details. So this store, I'm putting in the GST and details of this particular company. Whether you want round off to be applied to all your quotations. So if you say yes, then your quotation, sales orders, and all would be rounded off to the nearest rupee. If you want order approval, so when a sales order is punched, if you want each sales order to be approved by an approving authority, you have to keep 100% sales order approvals. And these are the three formats available for quotations and invoices. You can select those. You can also put in your bank details, which is shown here. And whether you want to display the advance on the quotation or on the sales order. So in case the customer has given you an advance and you want it to be printed on the quotation, you can select yes. However, if you don't want it to be printed on the quotation, you can select no. Now let's get to the vendors or the suppliers. So you can go to the vendor master. And here you have two ways of adding a vendor. You can click on new vendor and you can enter the vendor name, the vendor code, his credit period. Ideally, PAN number and other things are all non-compulsory. You can put in their billing address or with a billing name. Now here you can put more than one billing name. There are a lot of suppliers who operate with more than one billing name, and ideally they are the same suppliers, but they have different billing names. So you can create a single supplier with multiple billing names so that whenever they supply material, you can book their purchase invoices in the respective billing names. You have their shipping address and contact details. Now, basically, we also have an integration of suppliers who use Incluziv for their supply management, and you can integrate your software with theirs. So in such cases, you will redirect to configuration. I will take this up in a separate video wherein we will explain the configuration part in detail. However, if you don't want to enter each supplier manually, you also have an option of uploading this in Excel. So the upload sheet has basically the instructions given here. You can download the Excel. In the Excel also you have the same kind of fields. You can view which are mandatory and which are non-mandatory out here. So just fill up the mandatory fields. And while you're filling up the Excel, always remember to fill in the billing name at the end. So here, if you have a vendor, you can only put in one billing name. If your vendor has more than one billing name, you will have to go and add it manually. in the vendor master. So ideally, you need to set up all these vendors or suppliers first, and after that only you are supposed to enter your items. So just to show you, I've created a small file here in Excel wherein I've added a few vendors. If you see, the name of the vendor and other details are already added here. And what you basically do is you go into the software and you choose the file. So I've select the file that I've done and you upload the file. So all the details are visible here and you can just verify once before you save it. And once you save it, all the details get successfully saved. So these details are then available in the vendor. So as we saw, we created a few new vendors. What were the vendor names? Raj Suppliers, Adinath Sales Corporation. So all these vendors would have got created. And since we did not put any particular code in them, they all got created with the default code given by the system. We had only put the credit period and the billing name was given by the default one. So now if Raj Suppliers has got another billing name called as Rajesh Suppliers, then you'll have to add it manually out here. And all other information about the supplier has already come in the GSTN number and other things, whatever we've put as by default come in. Now, once you put in the vendor details, you can easily put in the item details of the vendor. The item details of the vendor can also be put in by creating the item manually, which is by clicking on new items, you select the vendor and you select the product category. So the product category is also a separate video which I've explained wherein how do you create a product category and what is the use of a product category. Now here you can add a collection or a brand and an HSN code, the roll price, the cut price and the MRP. Now at each of these places you've got an I mark which defines what is the price and what is the meaning of that particular field. So MRP is the price at which you would intend to sell the product, and the roll price and the cut price are the wholesale and the retail prices at which you purchase the fabric. You want to add multiple serial numbers to the item, you can add multiple serial numbers to the item. So say for example, I take a particular collection known as and maybe I get it at 300 rupees for roll and 400 rupees for cut and I sell it at 700 rupees. And I've got multiple serial numbers at the same price point. So I will say, and I can add this, I can add. Now, if I have a different price, so I can say that this is now at 350, this is at 450, and this becomes 800 rupees or 900 rupees. So if you see, my Euphoria 1204 is now at the different price point and the remaining is at the same price point. So I can just go on adding these manually and I can save the collection. In case I add anything by mistake, I can delete it here. So this is how you save an item. Now you can also do this entire thing by uploading all this in bulk. I'll show you how you do it. So you go to items and you have something known as import items. In import items, you have to select your vendor and the product category. And there's a sample file which you can download and see how to fill that up. The sample file has got 4 fields. One is called the retailer collection name, the distributor collection name, the serial number, the HSN, the roll price, cut price, and MRP. This is pretty much the same information that you were filling up while you were filling up your form. So I'll just fill up this with 1 or 2 collections and show you how to do this. So if you look here, I have created a few items. One belongs to the collection Euphoria, and I have created serial numbers which we had not put in manually. And I have another collection called Water Z. You can add multiple collections to your Excel, although you need to keep in mind that all these collections belong to the same single vendor. Now, you also can give a different retailer collection name. So say, for example, the distributor knows this collection as Euphoria, but you can call it as your store name collection. So in case you don't want to display the supplier's collection name to your retailer, or you normally have a practice of pasting a sticker on top of the supplier's collection name, you can update that accordingly in our software as well. I'll quickly keep this as it is and show you how to upload this Excel. So you select the vendor. So I'm selecting Raj Suppliers and I'm selecting fabric as the product category. I can choose the file and I can upload it. Now, once it's uploaded here, you can just save on this and all these items get successfully added. So in case you want to look at a brand or a collection, you can search on Euphoria and all your products in Euphoria are added here. Now, similarly, if you want to look for the other collection, which was Water's Edge, you can also search for Water's Edge, and all your serial numbers for Water's Edge are also available in your item master. Now, assuming you made a mistake in some of the pricing in your Water's Edge collection, you kind of put it at the same pricing. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete the Euphoria items from here. On the Water's Edge, ideally, I wanted to have it here as 450 and this as 525 and the MRP is 100. So I'm just copy pasting this. I'm selecting this and I've updated. I'm saving this file. And what you can do is you can go to import items again, select the same supplier and the same product category and choose this file again and upload it. So if you notice, I have made no changes to the retailer collection name or to the serial number. I have changed the price. So once you do this and you save this, the system automatically overrides the price. So say, for example, I select Water's Edge now, and if you see, the prices have got updated with the new 450 and the 525 rupees price without any item being created duplicate. However, if I change anything on the retailer collection name, then the item will get created duplicate, or if I select a different supplier, then the item will get created 2 times. Let's limit ourselves to learning this much today, and we'll cover the remaining topics in another video. Thanks for watching. Keep learning with Incluziv Retail.